Very good afternoon. Uh, Mr. Shetty, good afternoon to you. Mr. Goswami, good afternoon. Pleasure to be on the panel with you. Mr. Kurz, very good afternoon and warm welcome. Rajiv Gupta ji, nice to see you as part of this inaugural. And let me first begin by complimenting Chemtech and Chemtech IAC and PBF together to put this conference, which is of so much of immense value in today's environment, and also have so many exhibitors and so many participants who are actually going to benefit from the very apt topic which you have, we have actually coined and chosen for this platform, which is extremely aligned with the Government of India's mission and the Honorable Prime Minister's dream of making India a global manufacturing hub. So, and very, very warm welcome to all the participants and every stakeholder who is part of this conference. And on behalf of EIL and as the chairman of this prestigious conference, I wish it immense success, and I am sure at the end of it there will be several takeaways which will not only enrich our knowledge, but it will also open a lot of business opportunities and will also open a lot of avenues for everyone who is here, whether it's a manufacturing company, a service provider, a consultancy company, or an owner company who actually uses such solutions at the end. So it is extremely my proud privilege to be part of it, and I'm really humbled to have had the opportunity to chair and steer the contents of the program, and also very closely interact with my own team who helped put the whole event together. So of course this is something which is also very close to my own heart, because being a chemical engineer, a process engineer, if it is doesn't have the right controls and automation, the right value for the investments made in this, the process industry is not going to be, accrued and realized. But as we have seen the journey of the chemical industry, I think, in my view, it has really transformed over the years. And when we talk today of the refining industry or petrochemical industry or related industry, it needs to stretch each and every asset and each and every function to its maximum. And humans can do it, but with controls and superior automation techniques and superior functions of artificial intelligence and IoT, it can be magnified in terms and it can be realized very, very quickly. So therefore, the interventions of automation play a very, very important role in every element, whether it is planning and scheduling, in day-to-day operations, in maximizing your profits, how to change your diversified portfolio, how to blend your products, which area to market, where is it that you get the best, margins, how to switch deals, how to maneuver your prices. So all this is actually inherently based on automation. And the more automated a company is, the realization and the margins are definitely going to be proportionately higher. So with this realization and with this context, even as we are here today in the COVID era, we have seen the changes that have happened, which are so easily accepted by each of us, which would have been deliberated and discussed and maybe even discarded in less than a year ago. So change, therefore, is essential for survival and becoming relevant. And therefore, the adoption of techniques in the area of instrumentation, automation, digitalization is a reality, and the faster one adopts, the easier life becomes. Now, just going back, let's see, when we were looking at the policy formation aspects, even in 2014, there was a quantum jump and quantum push towards Make in India. And therefore, the manufacturing base was to be enhanced. And it then now, when we hear the term Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-sufficient India, it is a step towards going in that direction. And if you've seen the industry, in the refining industry, we were only 10 to 15% self-sufficient in the early 80s. And today, when we talk of indigenization in an overall manner, we are almost 90 to 95% self-sufficient. And that content is gradually increasing in the petrochemicals also, which was just 5% or 10% in that area. Today, we are almost 60 to 65%, even 70% in some of the industry self-sufficient. So barring some large equipment, which are really sophisticated, everything we are able to manufacture in India. And to put all these equipments and things together, instrumentation and control system, that is the heart, and that is the mind which actually runs the process industry. So even though in the entire capex investments of project, the instrumentation part could be 5 to 10%, or if you have more sophisticated analyzers, etc., it could be marginally more. But without that, the mega projects, the efficiency, the operability, safety cannot be ensured. So all this is essentially interlinked with instrumentation and automation. To make ourselves in India a global manufacturing hub, it is essential that whatever we manufacture in India is equivalent to what we get in the world. And that is why we can go from local to global. So it is essentially important that the quality manufacturing is carried out, and whatever the minimal technologies which need to be, sourcing can be imported, but maximization of indigenous manufacturing. Now, industry has to see how to leverage this. There is huge opportunity. There is huge investments which are planned in the sector of oil and gas and related sectors. So what are the business models that the industry can adopt? And this, we are having several vendor conferences as part of the Atmanirbhar drive, along with our ministry, parent ministry, MOPNG. In EIL, we have been also being forefront in development of vendors and encouraging indigenization. So in all these vendor meets and the platforms that we are having, we are looking at the industry to actually come up and look at these opportunities to either transfer the technology or do joint ventures or do some kind of an innovation within the own industry to completely manufacture instruments and related equipments within the nation. Now, several of the systems, if you have seen, particularly in the area of automation, like field instrumentations, even DCS, they are mostly now domestic tenders. So we have sufficient capability and sufficient capacity in the nation to actually meet the demand of the industry. But there are then certain other areas also when we talk of specialized analyzers, and we look at instrumentation which actually controls some of the specific parameters of a process stream. These are still challenges, and we face a lot of issues in terms of expansion of manufacturing base and availability of vendor. And many times these are very small, but they become very challenging in terms of meeting the overall project schedule. As EIL or as any other implementing agency, the schedule is paramount, because cost is schedule. If the schedule goes off, you are losing both on the revenue as well as you're enhancing your capex and also servicing your debt. So the limited vendors in some of these areas sometimes become a challenge, because as part of procurement cycle, you have to go back to the market to get fresh quotes and fresh bids. So these steps that we are taking as part of the vendor development, the industry is on board, and we hope to handhold them to kind of help them identify the areas where such joint ventures or transfer of technologies can happen. Now, I also see a couple of areas where we have huge intervention of the digital, and I'm seeing the panels, and I'm also seeing a lot of technical, presentations and discussions, which are going to actually be discussed as we go along, which will involve a lot of industry interventions in terms of realizing the value through a digital value chain. So now every equipment doesn't talk and every instrument doesn't talk. So the essence is that we have a connectivity to all these, and we superimpose with it some kind of software as well as limited hardware to put together a solution where the data reconciliation and the data management, the data analytics, and thereafter even AI or other solutions can throw up the the steps which the operator can take quickly to make have areas wherein safety issues might emerge, quality issues might emerge, or operation efficiency might emerge. So when we look at the vendors and our stakeholders in the industry, we normally categorize them as the original equipment manufacturers who are welcome to set up shop in India to enhance the local content and get the preferences in terms of the purchase preference policy, which is linked to local content, which is now a part of all of our tenders. And if we have even seen now the platform for procurement, which we are as PSUs we are following, is the government of the e-marketing platform, the GEM platform. So onboarding these platforms is also going to help the industry get more, base to actually supply their products. It is very essential that these initiatives which are there in the government domain for procurement, these are all very quickly onboarded by the industry to be recipient of the MRs and tenders for quotes, because the conventional portals are slowly since we are now going to the large domestic inquiries, and there is as part as of public procurement policy, there are some approvals required to go over a certain value. You can only go global. So it is essential that these are domestically sourced and the local content are maintained as per the policy. So I would urge the industry to look at these policies and for themselves look at whatever business model they wish to adopt, collaborate, or tie up, so that they do not lose the market which is available in terms of the investments which is going into the refineries or pipelines or CGT segment, or all the infrastructure segment, which is now as part of the push of the government of India. So as EIL, we have always been promoting the development of the Indian industry and hand-holding the vendors and the suppliers to come on board. The area which may would also come in the forefront is the area of environment, as we are going forward and we have signed the INDCs, and we are committed to the reducing the environmental pollution. There could be a lot of interventions which are going to see in future in terms of water management, waste management, analysis of these streams, uh, and kind of an integrated environment where there is zero, water requirement or a minimization of pollution at various levels within and outside the industry. So these are all comprehensive solutions, evolving solutions. You see, energy today is not the same as was before. We were all either refinery companies or petrochemical companies or gas companies. It is very integrated now. So it is actually as an energy company, looking at renewable, even people are looking at EVs, looking at charging stations. So it is all amalgam of these sectors. So the scope is huge, and the integration of all these business operations is essential to bring the efficiency. So it would be in all our interests, both the end user and us as engineering consultants, service providers, that we have to take tremendous steps and stride to manufacture all the components which are currently imported in the area of instrumentation and control systems indigenously, enhance the providers, enhance the number of service providers who will maintain them and ensure the efficiency of the plant systems. And this would lead us all towards a stronger Atmanirbhar Bharat and fulfill the dream of vocal for local, and truly become a global supplier and enhance India's presence in the globe as a global manufacturing hub. The very apt theme of this conference. And with that, I would like to once again compliment every participant and every panelist who is joined in this endeavor to find value and find their own, end use of their specific domain and specific industry from this two-day conference that we have. And I once again compliment the wonderful organization and the wonderful lineup that we have of subject matter experts and such experienced panel, which will bring more and more value as we go along. And welcome each and every participant, exhibitor, and other industry members who have joined in this event. And thank you very much for having me here, and wish all success and heartiest compliments once again. Thank you.